Hi there, welcome to the Animal Intuitive Show. This is Angelo Webb, the Animal Intuitive.
Come on, all you doggies, won't you walk with me? I'm the puppet dog.
So if anybody was just here and they're really confused, I'm going to re-record this because I had major tech issues. So I just decided to do it over because it's actually a very short, brief video. It is the week of Christmas if you're watching the replay and don't realize that, but so I didn't think there was going to be too many people here anyway, so I did a little prep work with just something I wanted to talk about, or I thought would be a good topic. And nobody popped in before saying they wanted me to communicate with their animals this evening, which I kind of figured would happen. So it's just probably going to be a short video, but if I don't see anybody here right now, but okay, so this is the Animal Intuitive Show. This is a show about animal communication, natural pet care, and I have interviews with experts in the fields of animal care and advocacy. And the reason that we do all this is to give animals a voice. So I decided to talk to animals about Christmas and what is Christmas to them? What does it mean? And interesting because I didn't just talk to one animal, I talked to some of mine, and I also communicated with two animals that aren't mine, my pets or whatever you want to say. And they all give the same information, and it's interesting because, hello there, thank you for coming. This is, I don't know if you were here before, but I'm just doing this over because we had so many tech issues before. So I found that this was their perspective. They talked about Christmas itself being something that they did understand in the sense of like people getting together, and it's kind of special, and there's like this kind of like hubbub and excitement and a lot of people getting together, and there's there's something going on here. So they talked about that from that perspective, but that's not, when I asked them, well, do you understand what Christmas means? They talked about it from the framework of God and their relationship with God. And you do have to take into consideration that animals don't, when I communicate with them, I'm sort of translating what they're saying, although my goal is always to give you exactly what they intend to have me say, exactly what's coming from them. But sometimes it can get a little bit, to where I still have to do some kind of level of translation because it's not like sometimes direct to something we would understand it to be. So what I got from them was God is just something or someone, an entity, a thing that is never away from them, that they never feel separate from God like we sometimes do. Maybe you don't, but I can say even, I'm a Christian, but I feel like sometimes I can get, too much going on. If you get stressed out or anxious, something worries you, or you just get too busy. There can be so many reasons. It can even get into things like shame or regret. Any sort of thing can get in the way. Sometimes even good things can get in the way. And for animals, that didn't exist. When I spoke to them, it was like they were just, God was just sort of like right there. There was no doubt about that. Like sometimes we have doubt about God. And I understand not everyone watching this even believes in God. I do understand that. I don't mean to make an assumption. But this is what I get from the animals, and that's my job, is to tell you what the animals tell me. So for them, what they're saying is that God is like right there. And this reminds me often of like when I'm talking to animals who are at the point of crossing over, they will, end of life, they will say that I'll ask what they think's happening, and they'll talk about that they're just kind of going into another step or another plane, as we often hear people describe it, and they're just going into light. and they'll be connected to God, and they'll be amongst God, and they'll be in a different realm, so to speak. But they don't feel this like disconnect that we sometimes, most of us do. Like, let's just face it. Like, that kind of is an assumption that most people who I'm talking to out here, and even myself, we often have this like wall. Like, we feel like it's there, and we're here, and you know, we don't necessarily always feel like it's one of those things where it's just a plane that we're going into, and it's all nicey. It can be even like this fearful thing. Like, it's this whole, oh my gosh, you know, like, what is that? What is that over there? And it's scary because you're disconnected from the physical place where everyone you love is, and the things that are familiar to you are. For them, it's not really like that. It's just another, like, it's almost like a wave into something else, for lack of a better way to put it. So they also talked about feeling protected by God, feeling that this relationship that they have that is so like sort of simple in a way, is help them to feel, or they feel very like safe and protected. Like, even if things don't work out here, that they're easily there, that they're with God, and it doesn't matter what happens here. In some ways, you know, not that they don't care about their lives here and they don't love us and care about their favorite bone or whatever, their favorite toy. It's not that, but it's just like the concept of like, if they were now with this being in this place, in this other level, they're perfectly fine with that. So that's where that conversation went. It went from like, what's Christmas to you, to a whole nother level. So, you know, that's kind of animals. That's animals that, you know, sometimes they often have huge lessons to teach us, and we don't think it, you know, we're not thinking that they have all this like capacity to understand and be on the spiritual level, and they really do, and they have a lot to teach us too. So that's what they said, and I hope to hear your comments about it. You know, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, if that's something you kind of thought anyway, maybe, or if it's different than what you thought. Hi, Gia. Do you want to come over? Come here, honey. My kitty G is here to join us for Christmas. For the Christmas show. Come. You want to come here? Okay, that's not happening. Of course not. I can ask her to join, and she's going to do it. Yeah, right. It's a cat. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Once again, if there's anyone there, just last minute, if anyone there wants me to talk to their pet, just let me know there in the comments, in the chat. But I did want to mention, I do have a discount going on too, so that'll be here through at least Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to extend it, but it'll be linked there in the description if you're interested in a gift certificate for someone for animal communication, or a discounted session for yourself. And also, I do want to just acknowledge people who have lost pets this year. That can be very difficult at this time of year. I lost my cat Tierna this year. She crossed over and was reminded of it. Some pictures came over today that I wasn't expecting through Google Photos, telling me that I can look at some old pictures, and it was like, oh, it can be really hard. So I just want to kind of give a loving hug to those who are without your loved pets physically this year. I do think they're always connected, but it's just, you know, it's not the same. You know, you want them, you want to hold them and have them here. So I understand that. And don't forget those who have lost pets this year to just, you know, see how they're doing. I know that sometimes people forget that, you know, I don't know what happens with that. It just gets sometimes dismissed, how important pets can be for people. And the holidays can be difficult, whether you've lost a pet, a person, you know. So, hi, Kapal. We just bought our Yorkie Poo puppy home. I may need you. Hello, DutyRon. DutyRon is a great show here on YouTube. I'm so happy that you're here. I've never had you here, I don't think, that I know of. If you want to check him out, he does some great stuff with true crime and Texas EquiSearch. I don't even know if they just call it Texas EquiSearch, but or if it's just EquiSearch, but he's become involved with them too. I hope I'm not scaring you, DutyRon, that I know all this about you. But they're a great organization, so I just wanted to mention that. Oh yes, okay. So I did. Yes, I sent you an email about EquiSearch. Thank you so much for reaching out. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by too. And if anybody wants me to talk to their pets, Kapal, did you want me to talk to your Yorkie Poo here and now, or were you lost 3 this year? A 13-year-old Yorkie Poo, little bug, 2 rescue mini poodles, Tika and Angel 3 months later. Jeez. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Well, let me know if you wanted me to check in. Oh, so you know DutyRon too. Well, this is exciting to have some new people here. Yeah, Midwest EquiSearch. Okay. Oh, cool. You're the law enforcement liaison. Okay. Very cool. Great stuff. They go out. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of them, but they go out in some of the worst conditions too, like heat and whatever else, bugs and snakes and pricklies that, they talk about going out to look for missing people. And, they really sacrifice a lot of their time and, money, I'm sure too, traveling and things like that, so they can always use people's support, the EquiSearch. So yeah, Kapal, if you did want me to talk to anyone tonight, I certainly can do that. That's FurryFursdays is live animal communication. If you don't want to do that, and I'm always reachable if you want to do it another Thursday, or private sessions, feel free to reach out to me. But I do want to mention next week I won't be here. So I might put out some pre-recorded stuff, I'm not sure, but awesome. Yeah, Midwest EquiSearch, they're really cool. So oh no, you have COVID? I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I didn't realize that. I hope that you are getting better. Keep you in my prayers for that, and hope that that's a quick recovery. How are you doing? Are you hopefully on the tail end of it? Gosh. So Kapal, do you want to get back? Did you want me to talk to them? Just let me know. I wasn't sure. Sometimes the chat is delayed, so I can't tell if people are like waiting for me. I'm not sure sometimes what's happening, but let me know if you want me to talk to anybody. And then of course I will be here probably in 2 weeks. I'll be back for FurryFursdays. More than likely. So I'm not seeing that you do. So okay. So all that being said, I guess if no one has any questions or comments, or DutyRon soothes us so often we are resting and starting the puppy schedule. The puppy schedule, yeah. That's that can be. I remember those days with, especially my little Cheyenne she's the only puppy I've had, but I remember I had her at this time of year as a baby, and I was in an upper floor apartment situation where I had to carry her often, like rush her out of the building to go pee. Like it was just, and she would go a lot. Like it wasn't just a couple, it was like a lot. I'm home and my wife and son have it as well. Oh no. We're recovering, but it's not much medically that can be done. Oh gosh, well, I do hope that it's quick. So, I guess I just want to thank everyone who did stop by for this second live stream of the show tonight, because the first one, if you guys weren't here, I had to re-record it. But I have found another person, and I love true crime. So DutyRon is like a true crime person. He's a former NYPD officer, and he has a true crime show. So I watch several, and my husband and I are starting one in the new year called True Crime Pets and Projects. My husband is a contractor, so I'm gonna talk about true crime stories related to animals, and he is going to show people how to fix things. So if there's anything you'd like him to do, like we have some ideas that have something to do with pets, especially having a kitten who's doing some things that we will show people what we're going to do to help with that, like chewing wires and some other things. She's adorable. She's right there. But, animals can be a challenge. So on your home. So if anybody has any questions, pet related, where they'd like to be taught how to do something on their own at home, or it doesn't have to be pet related. Like I told him, if when I was a single woman living in this apartment, I really could have benefited from knowing how to like fix certain things, like on the toilet and things like that. So if there's anybody that would like some little lessons on that, he's going to be doing that. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Oh gosh, well, I'm glad that you did see the email. I'm sorry that it took COVID for you to see it, but I am glad to hear. Yeah, we're really excited about it because I think he can help people a lot with that, with showing people how to do some things, especially people who have pets and need help with certain things around the house. And he's very handy, so I'm lucky to have him. So that being said, I just, and I do have one true crime topic I've talked about on here on this channel. That is the Katie, Janess, and Bowie case in Atlanta. So please check that out. They are still trying to figure out who did that. Terrible, terrible murder. And there's still, so please watch that, because they do have a video of people coming out of the park where they found her body. And I know that they did find a couple of those people. They're saying they're not suspects. They just want to talk to these people just to see if maybe they can help with the case. So I have the video of that on the episode. I'll link that too. So I use Ecamm. That's the software I use for my show. So hey, maybe at some point I can convince you to come on when you're feeling better, especially to talk about an animal case. I don't know if you'd be willing, but DutyRon, but that's what I'd like to do is, talk about cases where animals were affected, like Bowie was murdered along with his mom, Katie, Janess. But there's also situations where like animals kind of help to solve cases, like DNA situations and things like that. So you have a 13-year-old Doxy, and he is such a cuddle hound. I love him so much. Oh, you'll have to have him on sometime if you ever want to. We love all animals here, so we love that. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm so excited that you've been able to join us. I'm so sorry it took COVID for that to happen, but hi Mel Mac, it's so nice to see you. I'm so glad I actually re-recorded this, because on the first one nobody was in the chat really, and I just decided to delete the whole thing and start over a few minutes later because it was a disaster. It was I am the queen of, so I think what I was about to say is there's another true crime person. Her name is Pat Brown, and she has a show, and she has a lot of technical issues, and I've never seen anybody have as many things go wrong as me. I think I'm still worse than her. We're not neck and neck. I'm still worse. I'm by far the worst Like every episode, something goes wrong. And this is my 96th episode, I think. So, except for the ones that I pre-recorded, of course. In the beginning, I did a lot of that. But, and there were plenty of tech issues when I did that too, because then I had to re-record those and fix things. But live stream wise, almost every week there's some major issue. So I'm so glad though that I redid it. Oh, Oscar's right next to you. Hi, Oscar. Is he picking up that you guys are sick? Is he kind of just chilling and being mellow? I know one of my dogs gets very irritated when I'm sick. I was sick last week and she was not happy about it. She would bark at me and try to get me to go outside more, and just it's somewhat of an anxiety. Like they can sense that something's wrong with you and they don't like it. And I had to finally just take her and say, like, I am not feeling well. I will be okay, but I need you to let me rest, because they feel it. They sense even biological things. They can pick up like chemistry that something's wrong with us. You know, aside from just their whole like ability to telepathically communicate, they know that we're off, and sometimes it really does concern them. So it's important. I think I may have mentioned this on the last show, I'm not sure, but it is important if you sense that they're like worried to let them know that you're going to be okay. Oh, you had the tech issues too. Oh, see, so there's people coming in who know DutyRon. It's so interesting. The true crime community, there really isn't like an animal community on YouTube like there is a true crime community. You'll see all the same people in true crime, and we don't have that in the animal community. So I don't know. It's interesting. And thanks to Seeking the Truth with Dave, another true crimer who's in Australia, I actually have a lot of people who are from the true crime world, because I was watching his show and talking, and he would mention me, and then he would send people to my show. So I have a lot of people who are true crime fans, and it's interesting because I don't know. It makes me wonder if there's some connection between people who are interested in animals, love animals, and watch true crime and are interested in true crime. I think there is. I think there's something about people who really connect with animals, who are so pure, and the truth. You know, I think of animals as real truth. You know, they're not hiding anything. And people who want the truth in true crime cases. My husband's in the other room. Actually, he's building something and he's not telling me what it is, but you can kind of hear certain little sounds coming through. Oh, that's so great. If people come in, I'm here. I don't know if they'll make it before I end, because I don't have too much more to talk about. But if people come in and they have questions, then of course I will stay here. Or if anybody wants me to talk to their pets too. I greatly appreciate sharing. That is like the heart of the show. Like the way it has grown is just people sharing it through other channels, like Alex Erickson's true crime channel. She's been great. I've had her on a couple times. I'm just so grateful, because YouTube really has not picked up the show. It's interesting. I don't know what the algorithm has done, but for some reason there are people who did animal communication, and God bless them. I'm glad that the word got out about animal communication, but there's a few like people who put out animal communication videos like 2 to 8 years ago, put out one video, and for some reason that's all YouTube will promote. Like it'll play one of my videos if like I go to look at something I did, and it'll immediately suggest some video from 6 years ago, and I'm like, come on. Like there's like a couple of people who are kind of doing something similar. Like I think that there's one other person who's doing this format, not live streaming, but doing animal communication, and they will tend to send people to her. It's just taken, literally, I've been on here for over 2 years, and I'm at 1.5K, and I really don't think I'm terrible. So I don't know, like, it to me is this YouTube algorithm is like, it's a monster. So it just keeps sending people to the same people unless, you have other people helping you. So I'm just really grateful for people who have helped. Do we have to hit the down to hit the algorithm? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how I know now they're not counting, they won't show the thumbs down now. They changed that. I think we can see it like behind the scenes, but they changed it to where people can no longer see it, which is kind of nice. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Dawn Marie, thank you for joining us. I recognize you. You know why? Because Dawn Marie, my oldest friend in the world, her name is Dawn Marie. We've been friends since we were 5. We met in first grade, and she went back to Canada where she's from, but we're still very good friends. And her name is Dawn Marie, and you don't meet that many people named Dawn Marie. So when I would hear your name, I'd be like, kind of like a dog, my ears would go up because DutyRon or someone would say like, oh, hi, Dawn Marie. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing. All these new people coming in here. This is like a Christmas blessing. Oh, this is like a Christmas present. Hello, everybody. This is so nice. Oh, I also wanted to mention, and I forgot this, that I did an episode about a kitty cat named Mr. Kitty, who likes to be called Mr. And he lives with my mother. He's been with my mother for a while. But he was an indoor-outdoor cat coming into her breezeway. This is in upstate New York, where I'm originally from. So she could let him, he could do that. There was a way for him to just come and go as he pleased. And he found her. He just was a stray cat and coming in and out. And I kind of fell in love with him, but I'm almost 4 hours away from there. So, because I'm in New Jersey and she's in upstate New York. So I couldn't work with him. I could only do a little bit of work when I would go up there, and then with COVID and she's, I'm just a whole, I haven't been up there as much this year. So, I didn't get to work with Mr. as much. I did some communication with him, but he didn't want you to touch him. And I did I think I did maybe 2 actually, maybe an updated episode 2. Well, it got to the point where my mother is, she couldn't care for him, and he would attack her legs when she would go out to feed him. And that's very bad. She can't get a cat claw infection or anything. She can't have that. At her age, it would be really bad. So it unfortunately got to the point where she took him to be euthanized to a local vet. This was on Sunday, and she didn't want to do it, and it was really I was crying and she was crying in our 2 separate locations, and I was praying and saying isn't there some way for this cat to, can't somebody just rehab him? Why does it have to be like this? Well, I was just down the whole day. I was so upset that this is the way this was going. And then she texted me and said the vet was going to rehab him. I thought he might have already been gone by the time, euthanized by the time she texted me. So that was a Christmas miracle too. And this is too, all these wonderful people coming in. Oh, you're in Long Island. Hello. I'm over in Jersey. Hi, Rachel. Okay, so Domri, you have a Yorkie. She's my security guard. Love it. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. Roll Tide Rita, okay. You follow DutyRon everywhere. No, he's great. He does some really great stuff. I have a bossy 20-year-old Turkish Angora. Oh, beautiful. They're gorgeous. I'm sure he does think he's the center of the universe. Oh, this is so nice to see all these new people. I'm so grateful. I truly am. This is really a blessing to have you all stop by here tonight. If you think of it, please do. If you want, if you like the show, you might. I know you're kind of coming in late, so you missed what I was talking about in the beginning. But I do every week Furry Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, where I do live animal communication. Like if people want to have me talk to their pets, I do. So you can either be like live with your face and you going back and forth, talking and showing me your pet, or you do not have to be on camera. If you don't want to be, you can put your camera on your pet and do it like that. Or if for some reason you can't do that, you can just be in the chat. A lot of people do that. They ask me questions through the chat. I've had people just say they're too shy. They don't want to, I don't know, come on or whatever. They're afraid their phone's going to show them accidentally, and so they don't want to. Yeah, so I'm an animal. Thank you. I will do that. You're probably right. I need to like tell people what I do if they're coming in new. That's a good point. So I am a professional animal communicator. So what that means is that I communicate with animals telepathically. And so that's kind of like a word that gets like looks sometimes. It's like tossed around. It's like, what's that? Basically, it's using your the same intuition you have, where you probably know this DutyRon from the work you do as a police officer. I'm not trying to equate it to being a police officer, but it's the same, using your gut, using your intuition, where so like the phone rings and you know who it is before you look at the phone or pick it up. But we just as animal communicators hone that skill, and I believe everybody has it. It's just a matter that maybe they didn't have it brought out, by whoever, when you're children, it's just not, and growing up, it's just not sort of talked about, like that we have intuition, that we can grow it like a muscle. So that's part of what this show is I teach people how to connect with that ability. And I believe it's a God-given ability, and I actually think it's very sad that we live in a world that would take that away from people and make it like woo-woo and scary and weird sometimes, depending on the situation or where you're raised. Because I just think it's inherent. It's our intuition, but we're just using it to communicate with animals, because that's how animals communicate. Obviously they can't speak out loud, but they are able to, either animals will communicate with each other the same way that I'm communicating with animals, and that I teach people to kind of bring out in themselves their ability to do that. So I will see images. I will, a lot of it for me at this point is just like a knowing what an animal is thinking, what an animal is feeling, and that's what it's just a knowing. But sometimes it's also like a visual, like a movie or a picture, and audio. But I don't mean audio where you're like hearing voices outside of your head. It's like it's almost like a thought of words going through your head, but it's coming from the animal. You can also pick things up like scents, scent would be, for instance, if I was to ask an animal how they felt about, like an animal's peeing outside the litter box. Sometimes they will say, I don't like the smell of the cat litter, or I don't like the smell of my other friend here, my other cat friend who lives in my home with me, or we've got 2 other cats and we've got 1 litter box or 2 litter boxes. I don't like the smell of it, and that's why I'm peeing outside the litter box. So sometimes you can pick up those things. Sometimes it's kind of gross, but that's part of the job. And then physical feeling is another way that we can communicate with animals. So sometimes, like if I'm communicating with an animal, I will feel what they're feeling. Like if their stomach's upset or their arm hurts, I can feel that in my body. Thank you so much for sharing. I really do. I appreciate this so much. I just can't even. Yes, I am. I'm a I'm a former foster care worker. Jennifer, is that something you did too? Are you familiar with that world somehow? I don't know. That's an interesting former thing I did, yes, for years. And then I went into, from there I went up to Westchester and started doing community social work and mental health. And then I did in-office like therapy in an outpatient community mental health center. And then I went to the dark side for a while and worked for insurance because the other stuff doesn't pay. And now I do this. I still keep my license, and that's kind of part of what I want to work on too, is incorporating that into the show that my husband and I are going to do. My husband and I are going to do with true crime, is maybe bringing in that forensic side, because that's what I trained in, was forensic psychology. And I used to work with offenders too. That was part of the deal in the outpatient mental health center. So I used to work with, I guess we have to say, I'm not used to having to edit my speech on this show like you guys are, but as offenders, I used to have to work with them. So that's part of, and other types of things. So I'd like to incorporate that into the show my husband and I are going to do, the true crime, the pet show. And so people are coming in late. I mentioned this before. My husband and I are going to be starting a channel. He's a contractor. And he can pretty much do anything. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just like sugarcoating and bragging. Anybody that comes into contact with him is usually pretty amazed at what he's able to do. He can do anything. Fix-it wise. He's actually very good at woodworking, carpentry. That's kind of his specialty, but he does everything. So we're going to do a show that focuses on pets and true crime. But he's also going to teach people how to do things like around the house, but also related to animals, little things that might help with having pets. Like my cat, my new kitten chews wires sometimes, so he's going to be putting something over the wires to prevent that. So we'll probably do an episode about that. So but he has to take 5 seconds to be able to do that. He's so busy that we're hoping to start that very soon. So, Angela, I've had my cat for over 14 years now, and I know she's been trying to kill me from day one. Can I confirm? I certainly can talk to her if you'd like. If you want her to go on trial here, I don't know. I'd be interested to talk to her about that. That's very interesting. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions or help people understand further what this is all about. I also do massage and acupressure. I'm certified in that for pets. So that's another aspect of this show, is I teach people how to do those things. Not, of course, like, it to a certification point, but, I give people tips for things, how they can help their pets at home. Things like, if a pet is having issues where they're stressed out a lot or anxious or what have you, there's certain acupressure points that can help with that. And so that's what some of this show is about, too. Can you tell my Yorkie to stop being a thug and or make her relax? So basically what we do when an animal is being thug-like, I'm guessing you mean like maybe is the Yorkie maybe attacking another animal in the home? Because we can talk to them about what is driving that. Like, I could certainly do that. If you'd like, if you want to tell me the Yorkie's name, and sorry, my chair is like not staying upright. If you want to tell me the Yorkie's name, I think I might be getting confused because I have two. Okay, Don Marie's mentioning the Thug Yorkie. But the second part of that, make her relax. You might want to check out some of those videos I mentioned, like for the acupressure points to help her relax. And then also CBDs and essential oils. I have videos about those too. And I have those on my website, links for things I use personally. Those would be good options too, but I can talk to them. So, Angela, you have Kichiro. I'll get her on, but she's always been non-compliant. You certainly can. If you want, I can drop you the link and you can put your phone on her. Like put the camera on her if you want. If not, just let me know and I can just do it without the image. African Gray is 34 years old. Wow. And he, oh yeah, oh cool. And he plucks his feathers. Oh. I can talk to him too. I need my husband Maud to come in here and help because I don't want to lose anybody's, lose track here of who's asking for me to talk to their pets. I wonder if my husband can keep track. He's supposed to sometimes help me mod if he's home. I don't usually need mods. I don't usually have an issue or anything, but so let me do this. If you want me to talk to your pet, I think Angela does. And then Dawn Marie, she is with your sister's dog this week. Chloe is with your dog is like on a visit somewhere. Like, oh, that's cute. And then DutyRon, if you have a bird, that would be really cool too. I know that also I do know that essential oils can be helpful for birds. That you use, you know, I can talk to you more about that offline because off the top of my head, I don't want to give the wrong information. She's passed out at the moment. You're at your sister's, okay. Yeah. I guess I meant a mod as far as, so I don't lose anybody who's asking questions. That's all I meant. I didn't think I probably would, but I think this means my husband is not watching my show. Let me see, because he's not. He's caught. He just got caught not watching. Let's take a sip of this, excuse me. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the link for this if anybody wants to put their pet on. Let me grab the link. Okay, so this is the link. If you'd like to come on, it does help to have headphones if you say anything, but you could also, it might not be an issue. And I thought I had mine somewhere here. For some reason, when you talk on live streams, you need headphones. Otherwise, you sometimes get interference when two people are communicating. And I usually have mine right here just in case somebody's coming on, but I must have brought them over and misplaced them, which is so me. Oh, that must be beautiful, Paul. Do you watch, Kapal, do you watch Alex Erickson's show? Alex Erickson's show? She's in West Virginia. So I put the link in there. Just, click it and come on in if anybody wants me to talk to their pet. And you can, like I said, you can also put the phone down. Like if your pet isn't home, you could put the phone just with the camera down if you don't want to be on. I can understand, like, last minute on a Thursday night coming on a show, not everyone's ready for that. I probably wouldn't be. My husband might be watching TikTok. He actually is so, like, not into anything like that, and I finally told him, like, you probably really need to put your pictures on Instagram, like your business of what you do. And last night he just started to get sucked in, like he started watching cat videos. He's probably gonna kill me for saying that, but they suck you right in, those cat videos, man. They're so cute. And yeah, the feedback with the headphones. Oh, Rochester. I'm from upstate New York, actually, but not that part. I'm Queensbury, Glens Falls. How do I add you? There we go. Hello. Now, who am I talking to? Rita.
Hey,
Hi. So you have a fur baby that you want me to talk to?
I do. I've got to learn how to do this. I turn it around.
Oh. I think we lost you. You might have to call back in. Okay. So, yeah, there you are. Okay. Oh, you have a kitty? I hear meowing.
No, I have a Yorkie.
Oh, he just sounds like a kitty. Okay. Hello. Hi there. Who's
Say,
this?
Gizmo.
Gizmo? Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Gizmo. Like, okay, Gizmo, yeah. Hi there. Okay. And so, how old is Gizmo?
Gizmo is 10.
Okay. And what did you want me to talk with Gizmo about? I see he likes football.
Well, he's a very jealous boy of his brother.
Okay. So you want to talk to him about that? Like how to help with that?
And this is the poodle.
Okay, so he's jealous of the poodle. So you want to talk to him
Yes.
about what's causing that or how to help him with that?
Come up
Okay.
here, Gizmo. Come up here. Come on. He doesn't want to be on the camera right now.
That's okay.
This is Pepper.
Okay, so Pepper's the sibling that he's jealous
Yes.
of. Okay. Okay, so Gizmo. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of tune in, as we say, with Gizmo and see what he has to say. And for those of you watching the replay, fast forward if you want through me receiving information. I know that can be kind of boring, so I will also later, once this processes, I put timestamps so that people can scroll through. There he is. Okay.
He's not going to do it now. He's over.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to. They don't have to. I don't have to see them if
Okay.
he's not on. That's okay. Don't worry about that. So the way this is how, I'm just going to describe to you how he describes himself and how he describes Pepper to start with. He says that that Pepper has, he feels, at least this is his perspective, that Pepper has kind of a attitude of like a presumptuous, to come in and act like they deserve the attention that that they're getting. And he feels like it's just a level of like irritation about it. Just he doesn't like the way that that Pepper has that attitude. So what would you like to see? That's what we try to focus on, is like, what would the outcome, ideal outcome be?
When I got the second one, it was as a companion.
Mm-hmm.
They're a year apart, but hasn't really been that kind of a success. They're, and when I say they fight, I don't mean it's a bad fight. It's just one's trying to get the other's attention and love, and the older one doesn't want to give that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask what would help Gizmo. Well, I mean, there's definitely an attention fiend kind of a vibe with Gizmo. So you kind of have to start there. It's not like this wouldn't have happened with another animal. I just think it's something about Pepper that he feels, at least, that whether you would feel that way or not, this is how he feels, that Pepper has this way that was presumptuous.
Would you say that I need to give Gizmo more attention or less attention for that to be better or improved?
Well, Gizmo feels more attention. He just keeps hopping in front of me going like, see me, see me, see me. There's almost a level of like neuroticism about it. So giving more, I feel like you're going to give and give and give, and it isn't going to necessarily ever be enough. It's just kind of feeding the neuroticism to do just that. So let me see if something else comes up intuitively that maybe you could do other than just more attention. Hey there.
Say hey.
He specifically says, I want my place back. Is there something that Pepper got on that was specifically something that he only got to do, and then Pepper started to get, like, something that you think might be territorial? There's something he's saying, like, get off my thing, or get... That's mine.
All of the toys here are Gizmos because he takes everything.
Yeah. This feels more like a physical place, though. I'm sure he is jealous about the toy. I'm sure he does feel that way about toys too, but there's something about a specific, like, that's mine, but it doesn't, it feels like a location. And it looks like light in color. It could be a bed, but it could also be some kind of a blanket. But there's something very, like, there's an attachment to this place, and he's really not liking that Pepper got to lie on it. Oh, well, he's on a blanket there, but I don't think.
That's because he just ran Pepper away.
Okay. Is that specifically a place that he,
Say, I'm in Mama's lap right now. Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
in Mama's lap right
yeah,
now.
he could just be demonstrating it right in front of us, exactly what he doesn't like. I'm just going to reassure him that, you know, you love him just as much as Pepper and that he's very special. He might be a dog that, because he's got this anxiety almost, like it's an underlying, when I say like neurotic, there's like a little bit of like anxiety under there. And he might just benefit from, I'm picking up something nice like a lavender essential oil, something to take it down a notch, to kind of mute it a little bit. Because he's really uncomfortable with letting go of any kind of, like any piece of your attention he's just not comfortable. He just can't do it comfortably. And I feel like he needs help with that energy. And I don't know that he's going to be able to do it on his own. Like, I think he needs something to supplement it. Do you ever use anything like that? Like,
No, I haven't.
yeah, he could use a little help from something like that.
Okay.
You can always feel free to reach out to me and I can talk to you about that.
Okay.
If it's something you'd like to know more about, if it is.
Okay.
Because I
Thank
talk
you.
to people with no charge about things like essential oils and just to do education. And I have some videos on here about that. I think I was mentioning that earlier. But it makes him feel insecure.
Okay.
But I feel like Pepper is not. There's something going on where Pepper is sending that vibe to that message, like, haha, like it's not quite that
I've got
overt, but
I've gotten your place right now or something. Okay.
yeah, like his message is coming across as not helping. It's like he's not reassuring. He's not getting reassured by Pepper, like, for sure. It's more like, like, I'm not, gonna just do what you say, just because you were here first or whatever. I'm not gonna just do that.
Okay. Well, thank you. I may reach out to you later then.
Yeah, you can always email me at Ann with an E at
Okay.
intuitivetouchanimalcare.com, but that's also in my description, so you don't have to, like, remember that.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming.
Uh-huh.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I don't have to physically see the pet. No, if you wanted me to talk with your animal, you don't have to be with them either. And now I've lost, I lost your name of your pet, Angela. Yeah, Gizmo wants to be alpha. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, feel free to give me your pet's information if you don't have them with you. I can talk to them. Kichiro. Okay, that was the one. Okay. What kind of dog is Kichiro? Just since we don't have a picture, it's always nice just to, I don't need to know, but I'm for the audience, I guess. It's just nice to have that connection. And then also let me know with Kichiro what it was you wanted me to talk with them about. She was born July 20th, 2007. So she's 14. No. Math. Wait a minute. She's 14 or 15? 14. Oh, cat. Okay. Tabby cat. Okay. And what did you want me to talk with Kichiro about? Yeah, so true, Nicole. If you get them young and you're able to do the training early, just want to know if she's content. Okay. I know. Thank you, DutyRon. That's thanks to you. Okay. I'm gonna mark you there, and Alicia, if I forget, come back when I am done with talking to Kichiro. Remind me. Kichiro states that Kichiro is a very wise soul. Knows a lot more than you might think. I do get content because what I'm feeling is that Kichiro is very astute and aware of what's going on in the world and around you, and kind of makes wherever whatever you know, I know I think you said something about you felt like Kichiro wanted to kill you or something. But I actually feel like she's so smart that there's something yeah, she's so smart that I just feel like that's kind of like what you might be picking up on. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, what you mentioned. I'm sure you were joking about her wanting to kill you, but there's something about her that is like, gets frustrated or intolerant of certain things, like, because they're just very astute and aware. So yeah, she's very smart. So I think she's content. I mean, I think that's a good question, but I don't think that's an issue at all. For her, I think what I mean is, like, she can make anywhere home in a sense, or be content anywhere, because you know people like that, it's kind of catchy. Is she's always going to be smarter than anyone in the room. She's always going to be able to sort of integrate and assess the situation, and so I do think she's doing well. Oh, she fetches. Was that kind of all you wanted to know? As if or was there anything else you wanted to ask her? One thing she does say is, she uses the word old bones, so I feel like physically there, if you haven't yet seen it, I feel like there's something going on, almost like an osteo, I can't diagnose, but you know, like it would feel like a sort of like a human would have arthritis, like osteoarthritis, like there's, and it isn't necessarily at that level, like a clinical level, but old age stuff. And that's the one thing she's mentioning, because the word that she says is old bones. So I'm getting heat, like moist heat, so there's things you can, and there's even things you can get animals that are self-heating, like pads that they lie on that you don't even have to like plug in or anything like that. I feel like something like that would be helpful for her. Well, I mean, at her age, it's not unusual to have a little something going on. But I do feel like heat would be a good thing. Like that's what I'm getting is heat. Yeah, so she may be, you know, she may be gravitating, like if you see her really, like a lot of cats love heat, but if you see her like really gravitating toward it, that wouldn't surprise me. I did find something, it was on Amazon for my cats, that they just lie on it, and it does not have to even be plugged in. It's self-heating. But you can also find things that you can plug into, if you wanted to give her something a little bit more. That's great, Voice for Hope. I'm not sure. It sounds like your loved one was very intuitive with the furs. So, now that was... Who was that again? Remind me. I know you did ask me to talk to your animal, and I lost it already. It was Alicia, right? Yeah, Alicia. If you wanna, I don't know if you want to hold the camera up for your pet, you can use this link if you do. If you can't do that, that's okay too. You can ask in the chat. Okay, yeah, Alicia, if you want, you can put the camera on your pet, or if not, you can just ask me in the chat and tell me who your pet is, their name, and age. And if you're not going to have the camera on them, you can just let us know what kind of animal. Thank you for stopping by, Rachella. I hope we'll see you again. Oh, he's sleeping. Okay. What's his name? And is this a dog or a cat? Oh, Nico. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is the Turkish Angora. Okay. November, born 1. Oh, here we go. Okay. Is this Alicia I was talking to? Oh no, that's not a Turkish Angora. Hold on. I think someone popped in before. I am gonna talk to your kitty, Alicia, but it looks like I had someone pop in. So stay tight while I just will talk to, since Nikki's already here, and then I will definitely come back to him. Sorry about that. Is that Nikki? No? Okay, dropped off. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know who popped in, but if you, I'm gonna talk to, since you're not there, I'm gonna talk to Alicia's kitty, the Turkish Angora, and then if you come back, Nikki, just when I'm done with Alicia. Oh wait, you're. Wait, Nikki, can you come back in a few seconds after I talk with? Would that be okay? I'm sorry, I know it's a little confusing. I'm just going to talk to Alicia's kitty, and then I'll definitely be able to talk to Nikki's dog, I think. So, Alicia, Nico. Okay. Okay, so you want to know how Nico's doing since his human dad passed. I'm sorry to hear that. So I get this very warm, like, gentle soul. I feel like he's a healing cat, like part of his purpose on this earth is to be a healer. And I feel as though the human, his father, they are still very much connected. And there's guidance, you know, somehow there's some kind of guidance that he gets from his human dad. And that's part of the healing that he does. He says, I'm very unique. By unique, what he means, let me ask him what he's talking about. He says that he can tell if somebody is, he can sense if somebody's having a problem or needs help, needs love, and that's just, he's able to sense that, and then his presence, and he can help a person just with his presence. I don't even necessarily feel like they have to pet him. It feels like he's just, his presence is very calming. Yeah, he's very sweet. He mentions the thing I was talking about probably before a lot of you came on. I had asked animals what they thought Christmas was, like what, and it kind of went totally off into another conversation besides like just what Christmas is. It went into God and their relationship with God and how they are so close. And I feel like this is what's kind of like, this is like typifying. This is exactly what I was talking about. There's this sense that he's still connected and that that realm or that plane is not far. Okay, so you're asking he's okay without his father. So the feeling is actually, I see you're heading out, DutyRon. Thank you so much for coming, and I do hope that you and your family feel better. I'll keep you in my prayers and hope that you guys get over this very fast. And thank you so much for bringing everybody. I owe you one, absolutely. Let me know if you want me to talk to your bird. Feel free to shoot me an email too, DutyRon. Because I owe you one, so. Yeah, he's absolutely very comfortable with being here because he's still connected to his dad. I don't feel that he feels that disconnect like we think about it. He's very comfortable. He's okay. Is that all you wanted to know? Is just how he's doing okay? Okay, he stares off at nothing at times for minutes at a time. Is that his father? Let me see what he says. I get that he's, the word I almost want to use is channeling. Like, I get that he's, it's not always like a, necessarily a seeing, like a visual. I just feel like, and it could be, but it feels like he's just filled up with information and connecting when he does that. So yeah, I mean, that I think you're right that those moments where you see him doing that, he is connecting. Whether he's visualizing it, he's definitely sensing. I can't be honestly telling you that he sees. I am getting sensing and picking up on. He could be, but it's just not, I'm not totally getting clear if he's actually visually seeing him. But I do get that he's definitely connecting. Yeah, we want to be saying prayers for DutyRon and his family. So your friend said the same word, like channeling. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. It's like channeling. That's... Okay. So, and then, if the person who wanted me to talk, Nikki, I think it said Nikki, you can always use that URL again and come back in. I don't know if you're still here. Okay, so it's exactly the same what your Reiki master friend said. Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for all your... I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and read all of these. I'm not actually able to read them all. We're trying to figure out how my husband could help when people are, multiple people are... I don't think he's figured it out yet. You've written things in? Interesting. Type something in. Let me see if I can... Yeah, so, yeah, definitely praying for DutyRon and his family. and love and light that they heal quickly. What a shame at Christmas that they're going through that. Hopefully they'll be maybe over it by then, quickly. Okay, so my smart aleck husband says something in. All right, I don't know how to make you mod. I thought I could do it right from here. We'll have to do it another time. I thought I had made you a mod. Yeah, my husband's Daniel. Hi, little roadie. Yes, 52, or Anna. I just joined, so I don't know what this is about. Animal communication. So I do a weekly show called FurryFursdays where I communicate with animals. Oh, there's Nikki again. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Do you have a fur kid there? I see some kind of fur. Right. Oh, you keep not disappearing. You can always just, if for some reason you can't stay connected, you could just ask your question in the chat. Just tell me your animal's name and because I know you kept getting disconnected. No, I hear you. Thank you, Angela, for I understand that for sure. You're a good mom. Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Do I have you? I know we kept losing you. I was saying if for some reason you can't stay on, I don't have to have the visual. Like you can just, if for some reason it keeps disconnecting, you can always just ask your question in the chat. Yeah, it looks like you're going to freeze again. Yeah, just go ahead and ask in the chat, and then they do deserve the best. Oh, hi, Lynn. You came from Dave's channel. Yes. Thank you for coming by. Oh, Nico's dad was also Daniel? Oh. My husband says the
I
best
don't know why
ones
it keeps
are.
leaking.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think I'm seeing... what am I looking at there? I see fur, but I can't... Is that the tail? I can't see. I think it's...
Before he's my...
It's gonna... You're probably just gonna want to do it in the chat, because I don't think it's staying connected. I'm sorry, I'm getting like dry lips. Hold on. I need to put lip gloss on. Thank you for being a subscriber, Lynn, and everybody who subscribed, and I just am very grateful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, Nikki, if you get disconnected,
Well, we're back.
just put your question in the chat if you get disconnected.
It's already been in the chat.
It has?
been
What is
there.
it?
It's about...
Oh, no. I'm going to see if I can find it. Hold on. Maybe Dan, you could find it. I don't know. It says Nikki is the name. Why did I think it said Stewart? I'm not sure if I'm remembering that right. Wait, no, that's Nikki Stewart who's just posting. I'm reading her post.
Can he be turning it off somehow? He
He's
doesn't want me to talk.
He's trying to hide something. Okay, what's your question?
Well, he's always been my protector. He actually adopted me. We were in Florida, and we moved up I went back to Rochester, and he's been here, and he worries about people that come near me. But last week, he was limping. I went to touch him, and he bit my hand so hard, he wouldn't let go of it. And I'm kind of worried. Is there something physically wrong with him? He's almost 15.
Okay.
And
What's
does
his
he
name?
know Beau, B-E-A-U?
This is a gray cat right there.
Well, she's part Siamese, and she's now wanting to join the
Now
fun.
she wants to be on now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first I should do my little disclaimer. I'm not a vet, so I can't diagnose or treat. I can pick up
Right.
what they're feeling and tell you exactly what the animal's perception is. I do, I would say probably you want to get her checked out, if there's concern. But let me see what she says. I think you said Bo. Is her name, right? Bo? I know I lost you, but I got your question, so. So when I tune into her, the first word that comes up, I get stings.
How about if you talk to me while I'm just in the chat?
That's fine. Yep, we can do that. Yep.
I appreciate you.
No problem. I'm just
Okay.
listening to her right now, so.
It's a him.
Oh, him. Okay. She does say you may drop off, but the first thing that I'm getting is the word was sting. When I was trying to pick up what's the feeling that you have, or why did you do that? Yes, it's actually, and I'm hearing again the word rash. I definitely, if you have the feeling that whatever this is still going on, I would definitely have him checked out by a vet, because I am getting a discomfort. So anything like that, you definitely want to have them check out. Because I get like an anger, but not towards you like personally, but anger at being touched there. So that tells me there's something going on, that they are feeling something physically uncomfortable. Diane, that sounds like a good place. Angelos? Do you mean D'Angelo's you're doing your dinner from? Similar to my name. My name is actually D'Angelo's. D'Angelo, technically, in our family, but the D got lost. And it's a whole weird story. Out of 9 kids, my father was the only one that lost the D. But I hope you guys enjoy that dinner. And Rhode Island, thank you for being here. Yeah, everybody. Did anybody else have any other questions or animals that they wanted me to check in with? What is that? Oh, someone named Jellybean. Let me see. There's a little search here. Oh, there we go. Moose. Okay. I just realized there's a search option there. I didn't realize that ever. This whole 2 years I've been doing this. lives. I have a 10-year-old dog named Jelly Bean. Her birthday is 6/25/11. She's sometimes aggressive towards our younger dog, Cannoli. They were raised together and are 5 years apart. 10-year-old dog named Jelly Bean. Okay. They're raised together and they're 5 years apart. Okay. So I'm gonna tune into Jelly Bean and see what she's feeling. She actually shows me this has something to do, I'm suspecting because the other one's younger. What she shows me is the other one coming up behind her and like irritating her. At least that's the root of it. I'm not saying that that's every time why she's aggressive now, but that's what I'm seeing happen, like antagonizing. Not that the younger one was doing it to be a jerk or anything, but maybe it was just playing, but it kind of set up something. So let me see what at this point what could be done. I hear, this may be like at the time that this happened, but I get keep Cannoli away from me. And just so you know, like sometimes when these things, I hear that and it sounds really harsh, but I don't feel like it's a hatred or anything. It's just she's trying to answer the question. So it doesn't mean like I despise this dog and I don't ever want this dog around me, but I asked the question, what could help? So she's saying keep away from me, and I feel like what that means is not wanting that kind of behavior, not wanting that dog to come up behind Jelly Bean and touch her or irritate her. I'm not even sure we have Jelly Bean's mom Moose on anymore, because that was while I was talking to someone else. Okay, she does sometimes. Cannoli is 5 pounds, and wow, that's tiny. Jelly Bean is about 15 pounds. She gets mad if we pick Cannoli up also. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell her that part of being siblings is that the other dog may have to get picked up too. Like let's see what she says about that. Is there anything positive she can feel about Cannoli? She says I actually like her. It's not that I don't. I just don't like her being aggravating. And as far as her getting picked up, it's interesting because I'm getting a similar thing to a dog that I was talking to earlier with Pepper, and Pepper was the one that was annoying the other one, but I'm getting like sense of entitlement. It's a similar vibe. Like I don't like that this dog thinks that they kind of can come in here and like own the place is how they feel. Like that would be the human way of looking at it. It also feels like when you pick them up, I think that's the sense of entitlement. Yeah, she's saying like because when you pick up one dog, then they're above the other dog. And to dogs, there is like almost an intimidation to that. They're getting carried around like they're above and looking down. And the other dog's on the ground and feeling lesser than, so to speak, or like intimidated. And um, hierarchy would be the word. Um, so that's what's going on. And I feel like Cannoli likes that feeling. And that's what Jellybean's saying. Like she's picking up on that and it's irritating her. Very similar to what I was saying earlier to Pepper, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember Pepper's sibling's name. Gizmo. A similar kind of a thing where they're sort of like rubbing it in the other one's face in a way. Like, and it, yeah, like, and it's not, so Jellybean's the boss, I think. I think you're right about the irritating thing also. Yeah. And we have to translate it into human terms. So sometimes it's not quite as like, overt as like kids or something where they're like, holding it over or rubbing it in the face of a sibling that they're getting like special attention. But I'm just putting it into English, and that's the way that I'm picking up that she feels, that Jellybean feels. So, how do you fix something like that? Because, obviously you don't want to have to feel like you can't ever pick up Cannoli. I'm just going to see what might help. Always reminding the replay people you can fast forward when I'm listening. It's interesting because the I'm seeing a little visual kind of a movie playing in my head of you having both dogs on the ground. You're petting Cannoli in front of Jellybean, and Jellybean is amused, like she's watching it and she's smiling. And you're connecting with Jellybean as you're doing it. Like you're petting Cannoli, you're looking Jellybean in the eye, and you're having sort of a conversation. There's something about doing that, like connecting with Jellybean while you're petting Cannoli, and again, Cannoli's on the ground in this scenario, that is helpful. I feel like it just something to practice. I know it sounds really simple, but I think that when you do this and you look Jellybean in the eye, you're going to find that you sense something going on that maybe it's a positive thing that maybe you don't even think is going to happen. It's animal communication, but I feel like you're going to have that interaction. It's going to be helpful for everybody. Sometimes I can't even explain why. I'm just saying that's what's popping up for me as what could be helpful. It's very simple. It's just like having this like interaction. It's almost like a bonding thing where you're like bringing Jellybean into the relationship that you have with Cannoli, and the three of you are connecting that way. I hope that makes sense, but if it doesn't, please feel free to ask me. Okay, Nicole also had a question. Natural. I live by myself and have 2 cats, brothers, and I work a lot, so they're here by themselves. I feel guilty for them. I'm wondering how they feel about it. So I see one of them being active and the other one sleeping. one of them getting more restless than the other one while you're away. Asking him what would help this other one, the second one. I see him trying to get the other one going too. Tree climbing. Do you have Nachol? I hope I'm saying I'm so sorry if I'm not saying your name right. Nachol? Nicole? I don't know if you say Nicole with Nachol, but I'm hearing tree climbing. Like they want to do that in your house. I would think you know, would want to have, if you don't already, have oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Do you have trees for them? Cat trees? Because one of them has more energy than the other, and he feels like he needs something to... It's my dog wanting to come out. I don't know if she's still here. Oh, it's like Nicole. Okay. Okay, so you have perches. So are they, so I would say, if it's, is it perches, like, or is it trees? Because I'm seeing him wanting to climb and do a lot of activity, where he can really get, like, moving around. Yeah, he needs more to climb up. He needs to be able to do like he's got trees. I know this is a good time of year too to get those because there's been a lot of sales on those. I actually just picked up a couple for my cats. The holidays. Those trees. It really does something. Like they just really expend a lot more energy when they can do that. Like it gets something out like primal in them to be able to do that climbing. Something about engaging their chest too, like the muscle and their that upper body. Like when they pull and they do that kind of thing where they're really engaging that, it takes a certain amount of energy. Like I think of it almost like if you ever do like workouts that involve like even push-ups or yoga with like down dog, there really is something about the energy that gets trapped in this area, and when you do something to engage that upper body, it's calming. Like you put off energy a lot using that, and that's what I'm feeling. Like he needs to get this part of his body going, and the climbing is going to be helped by the perches, but not just the perches, but the trees. Yeah, I think that'd be great to get some for him. The one that sleeps a lot didn't really say much, because I think he's sleeping a lot when you're not there, but he feels more content to me to be just kind of left to sleep. I don't really get an issue with that for that one. Sorry, I don't know their names, but not saying their names, but I hope that was that helpful. If you have any questions more, then let me know. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to. If I didn't get to everybody. Um, oh, Finn and Felix. Oh, those are cute names. You're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. Thank you for your question, and everybody else who's had questions and is just here. I really appreciate it. I will not probably be here next week. I may be taking next week off. That's so far the plan. I won't be here next Thursday. But I do this regularly. I do it every week, Furry Thursdays. So, I do appreciate you subscribing. You probably all know if you hit the bell, you're supposed to get notified, supposedly. But I do this every week. So feel free to come back if you didn't ask a question, or you think of something and you want to come back. I'm here. And then I have a whole library on here. This is like my 96th or 90 something episode, so I have a whole library too of lessons and things you can do with your pets, like acupressure and massage and things like that. And in YouTube here, YouTube land. And then I do teach privately too and have classes. That's in the description through my website. I'm soon coming out with a class that's going to be downloadable that people can work at their own pace. Right now I just do personal private classes, one-to-one, or groups online. So I wanted to add that to the choices for people, because some people just want to do things on their own. I understand that. So I guess nobody else has any more questions. So thank you, Mel, and thank you for being here. Mel's great. She's often here. I guess it's where you are. It is Christmas Eve. I think you're in England. I do this every week, and my husband even kind of was like, Anne, you say, where are you, Mel Mac, every week. Every time you see that person, you ask. And I'm like, I have the worst memory. Like, especially when I do animal communication, I'm not always... It's a different part of the brain, I guess, so to speak. So I don't always remember everything as well as I do when I'm not doing animal communication. Yes, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I have this, yeah. And feel free to share, let other people know. That's always helpful. Tell people I'm here if they want to have me talk to their pets. So, you're in North Carolina. My husband's laughing at me. And he also, my husband's saying to remind everyone to like. So if you don't mind, if you can like, I do appreciate it. Mel, I know you're in North Carolina. Now that you say that, it's not you that I do that to. It's Matt Ellis, I think it is. Matt. I do that too. That's the one who's in England, I think. And sometimes I think they're in Australia. Matt Willis, not Ellis. Okay. So I don't see any other questions. Right, Ocean, right? Thank you, Alicia. It was close, right? I don't see any other questions, but I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. For those of you who are not feeling well or are missing pets or people this year, hugs and love and prayers for your comfort. And I hope to see you all back here at your soonest convenience, but I will definitely be here in 2 weeks, if not next week. So. And thank you all. This is so nice to have all these new people here tonight. And thank you, DutyRon. I do hope you all feel better. Thank you, Mel Mac. All right, everybody. Have a good holidays. Thank you, and God bless.